disturbing, frightening statistics. Louder. Can you hear me now? All right. I am a finance guy, and I'm here to report some very disturbing, very frightening numbers for you folks. The U.S. government, in the last 14 months, direct the money. All right. All right. The U.S. government, in the last 14 months, has pledged, spent, or promised $12.8 trillion of our money. What that looks like. $42,105 for everybody here. Every man, woman, and child in this country. It is 14 times the amount of currency that's actually in circulation. It's enough to pay off every home mortgage in the country and still have $2 trillion left over. And it's hard to, 12 trillion is the number 12 with 12 zeros after it. My calculator doesn't go that high. Now, to those who blame President Obama, I thought there were a few here. Remember that it was the Bush administration. It was the Bush administration that expanded the federal budget by $1 trillion, passed the disastrous Sarbanes-Oxley regulation, passed the Medicare prescription drug benefit, the biggest entitlement program in 30 years, added $4 trillion to the national debt. That was an increase of 70%. Yeah, and it was the Bush administration. You hate bailouts? Bush started them. It was the Bush administration that, Bush told CNN, which I just happened to have on that day, Bush told CNN, and I quote, "I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system." I mean, if that is not double-speak, I don't know what is. But I think today's protests, which are being held at 500 cities nationwide, simply about the taxes. They're about the philosophy behind the taxes. Socialism, fascism, communism. I think in various contexts all are true, but let's refine it for a little bit. From the loans to the automakers to the bailouts from the banks, the primary philosophy now driving this country is collectivism. What does that mean? Collectivism holds that the individual has no rights. Life, the product of your neighbor, now belongs to the group. So whatever they want, whether it's low mortgage rates, healthcare, green cars, green jobs, and education, anything at all, it now becomes your responsibility to provide it, whether you like it or not. We see it in the taxes that take money from people who earn it and give it to people who have not. We see the language. I mean, I'll just talk of, we're all in it together. I am my brother's keeper. Shared sacrifice. It all speaks to the same idea. You are here to serve. Volunteerism, the will of the people, is implemented through force, not through voluntary training. Now, I know you all agree with me that this is a profoundly un-American idea. From the original Boston Tea Party came, of course, the Declaration of Independence, which put forth the morality of individual rights. In this country, hell yeah. In this country, you are born free. Not with a duty to serve the king, but with the moral right to live your own life. Liberty in the pursuit of happiness refers to your life, your liberty, and your happiness. You don't owe society a goddamn thing. Now, of course, for socialists, for collectivists, for people who support this high tax, high spend, government-controlled economy, sacrifice is everything. I mean, sacrifice is an absolute. You're expected to sacrifice for AIG, for Citigroup, for Bank of America, for deadbeat homeowners, for poorly run municipalities, for whoever in Washington thinks is deserving of your money. This is wrong. The founding fathers' view of government was that its scope was limited and clearly defined. Now, honestly, I'm not a constitutional scholar. Is the government here to own a car company? No! Are we supposed to have a government? have a government to run an insurance firm, a mortgage brokerage? No! We have become one of those centrally planned, government-owned European economies that we used to make fun of in this country. This country was once the land of rugged individualism. Don't tread on me! We hear a lot, but let's think about really what it means. What it means is that it is the individual, not the group, that's important and that has value. Individuals have rights. They're groups. They're groups of individuals. Now, you want to help a deserving, needy homeowner? Write him a goddamn check yourself.
Right! Yeah!
It's a legitimate thing. If you have a needy recipient, if you feel that you want to help, but government doesn't own you, the children don't own you, the needy don't own you. In America, there are no masters, there are no slaves. You're free.
Yeah!
We've moved away from this notion of rugged individualism. We've moved towards a collectivist society that forces everybody to sacrifice for the group. Now, in a political context, of course, individual rights means capitalism. That's also a bad word these days. Laissez-faire capitalism. I gotta tell you, I'm in the financial market. AIG never cost me a dime until Tim Geithner put my money into it.
Yeah.
The financial crisis, again, I do this for a living. It's not a function of capitalism. It's not a result of capitalism. I mean, the Fed, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, the Community Reinvestment Act, Sarbanes-Oxley, not to mention the $12.7 trillion. This is not a free market. Those are not mechanisms that are free markets. Now, tax day Tea Party protests are protests against tax, yes, but even more against collectivism. The notion that your life, your energy are Washington's property. They are not.